Hello, we are live, and this evening we get to speak with author Sylvester Barzey. How are you doing, Sylvester?
I'm good. I That intro was amazing. Like I wasn't expecting that.
Right?
That
See, and this is why I
yeah.
wanted to be able to use it because it was actually made for me. An author friend had it made for my
Yeah.
channel, and because I don't, like I was saying backstage, since I don't do regular videos anymore, I never get to use it. So,
Yeah, that was really
yeah.
cool. Like I saw the skull and I was like, what is going on?
There's a movie starting. There's a
I
movie starting,
know.
and you are the star of the show.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to be the guinea pig. That was good. That was great.
Well, perfect. Well, let's just jump right into it. Start yapping. If people come in and have questions or comments, I will pop them up on the screen so you can see.
Okay.
But
hmm
let's just jump right into it. Why don't you introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your work?
Okay. My name is Sylvester Barzey. I am a horror and fantasy author. I've been writing, or well, I'm publishing since 2017. And let's see, I was in the military for 8 years.
Oh,
I
wow.
have an amazing wife. Her name is Angel. The fantasy side of what I do is with her. We co-write a YA fantasy series, and
I didn't know that. That's really cool.
yeah, yeah, it's fun working with your wife. I love her. She just says, she shuts me down real good. Like normally when it's just me, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna blow this zombie up, and that's just the end of it. But when you have a co-author and she's your wife, it's just kind of like, I'm gonna do this, and she's like, no, we're not. It's
No,
no,
that's not
and that's
happening.
it. Yeah, no is no. So I'm just like, oh, okay. And I got my amazing little monster. His name is Aiden. He is 8 years old, or he's gonna be 8 years old on the 28th of this month. So we are
Oh, my
excited about
goodness.
that. hmm
Right after Christmas.
Yes,
Mm.
he's lucky. He
So, does he get like
very
extra
basically breaks
spoiled?
our wallet. Yeah, he gets Christmas and then he gets his birthday, and that's just how it's been since day one. So he's just used to it. He's just like, I want these now, and I want those. So
Hey, that's the way to go about it. I mean, if you have a birthday that's close to Christmas or any other holiday where there's gifts that are exchanged
yeah,
and you get extra
mhm,
spoiled, why not?
yeah,
So I guess that
yeah.
kind of
Well,
answered my question. I was going to
hmm,
ask you if your family was supportive of what you did, whether they read what you wrote or whether they gave you time to sit down and do the writing, but obviously that
mm,
kind of answers that question because you even co-write your fantasy part with your
yeah,
wife. That's really neat.
yeah.
Can you tell?
Everyone in the family, they're very supportive. They all buy the books. No one really reads them except for my wife because they're not into horror. Like I have an aunt that's just like, I love it, but you send me a book when no one dies, and I was like, I don't think that's gonna
Oh no, there's always got to
happen.
be somebody that dies. I
But
mean,
somebody's got to die. But I
that's
mean,
right.
she might be more into the YA fantasy series. I think that. Well, no, I told her about that, as I was like, she was like, "What's in it?" I was like, "Vampires and where?" She's like, "No, I can't do that." I was just like, "Oh, okay." And
That's too
my mom
funny.
tried to read it, and then she got to like the first book she tried to read was the zombie book, the Planet Dead series, and that was too much for her. So she was just like, "No, I'll just keep buying them." I was like, "Okay."
Hyperactive bookworm, all the way from Australia. Thank you. Thank you,
Oh,
Neen, for coming and
hello.
hanging out with us. I always
Yeah.
call her hyperactive bookworm, but I mean, I do know her name, and she's got a very unique, beautiful name. But I just also like your handle, hyperactive bookworm, because it sounds a lot like me. I can relate to that 100%. If anybody
mm,
that's in the comments has questions for Sylvester, let us know, pop them up, and I'll make sure to pop them up on the screen so that he can answer them for you. Well, that's really exciting. How do you feel when you hear people say that zombies are getting old or that they're not cool anymore?
I hear that a lot, and I mean, I can understand where people are coming from with that because I guess people are kind of worn out with The Walking Dead, but that's just kind of one aspect of like the whole genre. You can't really throw the whole genre away because people are worn out with The Walking Dead, And
Yeah.
so I don't worry too much about it. For the most part, I write what I like, and I like zombies. So once I get bored with zombies, then that's probably when I'll stop writing it.
Then
But yeah, but
don't
I mean, I
don't
have
ever.
readers that love
No.
it. Yeah, I have readers
I
that love it and stuff. And I feel like the zombie genre is always evolving. There's always going to be different things. There's always going to be different turns to it. Like, I mean, warm bodies isn't my thing, but you have this zombie that's in love with this girl, and then Disney did a zombie movie. So I really don't think zombies are just gonna fade away. Like, there's always
They
gonna be
better not.
somebody
They
that wants
better
to
not.
see the
I
apocalypse.
am
Yeah,
a diehard zombie fan. And
yeah,
the people will always say they're like so yesterday. And I'm like, no, they're not. They're still real and true, and they
yeah.
are a big part of the horror world. However, I
Someone
do
just
understand it would be
yeah,
really challenging to write something that's unique or that has your own twist when it comes to
yeah.
zombies, for sure.
I mean, it is because a lot of people they'll get caught up like in the tropes and stuff. Like even like I remember I had a reader that was like, "It'd be so cool if you could find another way to kill a zombie instead of a bullet to the head." But I was just like, I mean, yeah, it would be cool, but I feel like that's just kind of definite. It's just a bullet to the head, like. But in my vampire series, I started because I guess to get like into the nitty gritty of things, Amazon started a little thing called Kindle Vella, and it's kind of like Wattpad. So I wrote a book, and it was a vampire apocalypse series with like zombies in it too, and I started doing decapitations for that one. So that was fun.
Oh, that would be fun. That now you're
Yeah,
gonna have me thinking of different ways that you could kill zombies
yeah,
without
yeah.
geting rid of the
They had me
brain.
thinking that too because I was just like, I mean, I can burn them, but I just feel like you shouldn't do that in closed spaces.
Wouldn't
So
that just spread the disease? What if you like overfed them? Overfed them with human flesh.
I was about to say, who are you feeding them?
Ooh.
Like, are you just killing people?
I guess that would be the dark twist on the story. You're murdering
Yeah,
people to
yeah.
feed
You're kidnapping
zombies.
people and feeding them to this zombie. That's definitely the dark twist right there. That's a good twist.
Right? Oh man, I tell you, my brain goes to the dark places. Lewis does have a question here. Lewis Stevenson, who is in the UK, so it's definitely past his bedtime, but he's such a supportive person who is also a fantastic author. Wants
Alright.
to know if you ever tried to sneak horror elements into the fantasy when you're co-writing with your wife. You would think I'd be able to talk. I'm drinking coffee as we speak.
I definitely feel like, well, in my head, I say it's fantasy, but I mean it has vampires and like werewolves and stuff, and I always equate that to horror. So
Mhm.
like, although it's it's YA and it's very toned down and stuff, there is elements with like a vampire attack or a giant werewolf trying to kill somebody and a dark demon in a armor and explosions and stuff. So I try and get my love for scares out as much as I can within my fantasy writing. So yeah, I guess I do.
Sneak in as
Yeah.
much as you can.
Yeah.
A little
See what I
dash
can get
here, a
away with.
little dash
I know.
there.
Yeah.
Well, that's really exciting. What is your favorite part about co-writing with your wife? Is do you guys like really? You said that she'll tell you how it goes. If she doesn't want something, she's very
Yeah.
direct. But do you guys find that you guys, banter back and forth really well? You flow really well. Your writing
Oh.
flows.
Oh yeah, of course. That's why we're married. If we didn't work well together, then like we just shouldn't be married. I don't think so. Like, writing with her is awesome because for the most part, she just like she'll come up with an idea. She'll be sitting down and she'll be like, you know what would be really cool? And I'd be like, that make a good book. And then she'd be like, write it. And I'm like, oh.
Let's
So
do
that's
this.
pretty much it. Like, we have an idea to co-write a Great Gatsby retelling, and that just
Oh,
kind of flowed together. So we're gonna be working on that next year, and like, yeah, it's just she she feels like she's not very creative, but she's amazingly creative, and it's just like things pop into her head.
oh,
And all I do is I just kind of water those ideas and stretch them out. That's all.
I
So
hope she's
she's
listening.
awesome.
Or you'll have to make her
she
come back and watch.
I know, right? She might be, but I don't know. She's probably wrestling with the little man, so she might not be.
Probably.
Yeah.
Quiet down. I'm trying to watch Dad. Joseph would like you to tell him about your process, like your whole writing process. Is that what you're asking about, Joe, or one thing in
um,
particular?
my well, the like bare bones of it has always when I first started, um, when I first wanted to publish Planet Dead, I had like a day job and stuff, so I had to be at work around like 8 o'clock. So I'd wake up around 5 o'clock and I would write until like 7:30, and then get everything done and go to work, and then I would write on my boss's time because I was writing everything in the Google app, so or Google Docs, so I could write on my phone. So I'd write during my breaks and my lunch breaks and anything just to pound out words. So, and then when I got home, I had family time, and then I would sneak off to bed at like 9:30, but I would write until 11:30, and that's how Planet Dead kind of got knocked out. I started Planet Dead in 2010, and then I did the bulk of the writing when I deployed in 2012. But now, after the pandemic, my family they're kind of high risk. My son, he has autism and he has seizures from time to time.
Oh,
So I was working in a very public thing. I was working at Walmart, so I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I wasn't gonna risk his life, so I left. And now I write full time now, and I wake up around seven, yeah, and then I'll start writing from 9 to 5. And I call it
really?
writing, but it's everything that's involving my writing business. Like I write blogs and I do emails and I set up my ads and all that nitty gritty. And then like
All the
I'll write my book.
promotion,
Yeah, all the stuff
marketing,
that I need to do.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah, like this month was funny because I was gonna set this month aside to just because last month was NaNoWriMo, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna write a book, and that didn't work at all. So I was like,
Oh
this
no.
month I'm gonna focus on the I'm gonna focus on the book I was supposed to write last month, and then this month my book, Planet Dead, the Briggs Boys mixtape, it won the Zombie Book of the Month. Um, uh, it's like a Facebook group. It's a Zombie Book of the Month group, and every month they pick a book, and I won. So I get to take over the group, and I host it, and I
Yeah.
do giveaways and stuff. So that took up a lot
Celebrate.
of this month's plan. So yeah,
That's really awesome. Well, congratulations. That's really exciting.
yeah.
Why didn't I know
But
about this Facebook group? I need to be where all the zombie people are.
I know. It's like every time I find like different zombie people, I'm like, these are my people. Like yesterday, the Clubhouse app popped up and it was like Horror 101 Zombies, and I was like, what?
Yes.
And I went in there, I followed everybody. I was like, I love these people. They're all talking about zombie movies.
Yeah. These are my type of people. And even
Yeah.
your author photo on your webpage. That's
Yeah.
exactly what you look like. You look like you were hands down ready for an apocalypse. You're like, I got this. I know what I'm gonna do. I know which weapons
Yeah.
I'm gonna use.
This year was really fun because there was like this hashtag thing, and it all started. It was called like Black Fae Day, and it was like a whole bunch of basically black fiction people just dressing up and cosplaying as fairies. And then later on in the year, they made Afro Apocalypse, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. So I made my little costume, and then my wife and we went outside and she took all these awesome pictures, and I was just like, this is gonna be my headshots and stuff. This is awesome. So like I was hyped. It was one of the best days I had all year.
I mean, that photo was great, but the other one you showed coming down the slide there.
Yeah.
Two very different photos. I'm ready for an apocalypse.
I'm gonna get on the slide,
I'm having the time of my life.
Yeah, she was like, what are you doing? I was like, take the
Maybe the zombies will follow you down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you sound like you're really organized when it comes to your writing process. Neen would like to know, do you break down the time to know how much you write and how much you spend on everything else?
No.
No.
Like how much time? Well, what I do is my wife got me a little planner, and I'll break it down into days. So Monday is writing day. So I'll either focus on writing whatever book I'm working on, editing any other books, or writing blogs. And then Tuesdays is marketing, and then it's just it goes like that. So Wednesdays is writing, Thursdays is marketing, Fridays is writing, and then Saturday and Sunday that's family time. I don't do anything on those days.
Oh, nice. And then here you have me bugging you. Hey, I can't read your books right now because I got a big
No.
list. You want to come on my channel?
No. I take any opportunity to talk to people that I can. Like I love to, like, at first I was so scared of podcasts and stuff. But there's this one podcast. They're not doing many podcasts anymore, but it was a husband and wife. It was a horror haven, and it was a husband and wife. But they're okay. The reason they're not doing it anymore is because they've been having kids, so they have like 2 kids now. So
So
yeah,
they're busy. They're like, this
yeah.
doesn't work very well when you've got kids.
Yeah.
I mean, just like you, I can relate to that. I mean, I work full time. I have 2 boys, and then I'm
Yeah.
trying to like juggle, doing live shows and
Yeah.
all these helping authors with marketing and stuff. And sometimes it
Yeah.
can get overwhelming and your head starts to spin.
It
But
definitely
then
can.
for me, see, I could step back at any point. I can be like, hey, I can't do this anymore. It's too much for me. But I'm not promoting myself. I'm not promoting my work, my books, right?
Yeah.
I'm promoting other people. So I have so much respect because authors, no matter how much your head starts to spin, no matter how much stuff starts to get crazy, you can't give up. If you want to thrive or you want to get your
Yeah.
stuff out there, even if you're not worried about being like the next Stephen King kind of thing. You just want people to read your books and love them or enjoy them or to find your readers, your community. It's a lot of work, and you guys can't just step away when you're done. You're like, I can't, unless you decided you're not doing it
Yeah.
at all anymore. So
No,
I have
nobody's
huge
gonna.
respect.
Yeah, nobody's gonna fight for your dream as much as you are. Like nobody's gonna
I
push your
will.
book as much. Yeah. And we are very thankful for that.
I tell you.
I love people that are just supportive and who, like, when someone buys my book or reads my book and then they're like, "Oh, I want to talk to you on my show or my podcast." I'm like, "This is amazing. You actually
Yeah.
reached out to me." Like, so it's very cool. It's very cool. I love it.
I could imagine that would feel really good. That would be just as rewarding as people reading your
Mm.
book and leaving a review. Somebody
Yeah.
enjoyed it enough or likes your work enough that they're like, listen, I need to chat with you. Like, we need to hang
Yeah.
out. We need to do a show or a podcast or whatever it may be. I haven't had the
Definitely very
privilege
cool.
of reading any of his work yet, you guys, but it's on the list. And the covers
Yeah.
are really eye-catching. And as soon as I saw that, I mean, there's zombies involved, I mean, that's a win-win. I mean, that's 100%.
Oh, yeah.
It's going on the wish list.
My cover artist, her name, well, her company is called Ravenborn Designs, and I found her when I first started, and like I've just used her ever since because she's easy to work with and she puts out amazing work, and luckily for me, she loves zombies too. So like whenever I come to her, I'm just like, I need a Planet Dead cover. She's like, oh my god, because she's so tired of trying to do other things. She's like, I want to do zombies. Yeah,
zombies.
So,
And then they all kind of match. I love when authors use, if they've got a series and they use the same cover artist and everything kind of matches, it blends together. And then it looks, for a book nerd like me that likes to collect physical copies, it looks seamless on your shelves, right? And then it's eye-catching. It looks good.
She's working on a hardcover one, and it's going to be a collection of book 1, 2, 3, and then the novella, the Briggs Boys, and it's supposed to have like Catherine sitting on a throne of bones. So that I'm waiting to see that. Yeah, I'm very hyped
That's gonna
about
be
that.
awesome. You're gonna give me sneak peeks, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Woo! No, I'm just kidding. So Neen says that she does like that breakdown. I agree. Having a certain day scheduling to like focusing on one thing, and if you stick
Hmm.
to that routine, then you know you're
Yeah,
always covering your bases.
yeah. I've really just developed that method like this year, and I stagger my books too, so I don't get like burnt out on things.
Mm.
Like everybody's like, "Oh, when's the next Plain Dead book coming out?" And according to my project schedule, after I finish these other two books, so
Oh,
I just
see,
stagger
yeah.
them. So yeah, so I don't get burnt out and I don't get tired, and because I've read I'm not gonna throw names out there, but I've read a series that I really loved, and then I've gotten to like book six, and I feel, wow, let's just put this out here, put this out. This is I could skip this whole book and not lose track of anything.
Mm,
So I
yeah.
don't want that. I want to like build a story that is cohesive and really enjoyable for someone to read. And
Yeah, you
yeah,
want to keep that passion in there. You don't want it to
yeah,
be just, yeah, let's throw something out there,
yeah,
get it on the readers. I think the readers appreciate that too, because as much as we
mm,
don't like too much time in between books or series that we love, it also gives
yeah,
us that moment to, get in other reads in between, but it doesn't lose us enough that we
yeah.
completely forget of what happened in the last book before we're jumping into the next one either, right?
Yeah.
So Joe would like to know, what scenes do you enjoy writing most?
Um, you would think because like it's horror and zombies, I love the the dead and the attacks and stuff. But I like banter. I really like witty banter, and I like betrayal scenes or something. So
Yeah.
like I love when the main character gets to this moment where they're like, "Oh my god, this motherfucker's been lying to me this whole time." I just I love that big reveal scene where it wasn't what everybody expected. I love writing that because then I'll be like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, that
So
twist, that moment, somebody that you
yeah,
love, and you're like,
hmm
this character's the bomb, and then you realize that no,
yeah,
they're not. They're true evil, and I actually like the
yeah,
evil ones, so yeah.
yeah. So I
They end
love
up
that.
being
I
my
love that.
favorite.
Yeah, I love that even when I'm just like reading a book. I love when something just twists and I'm just like, oh, what? That's crazy. So
Throws it
yeah,
off for you, keeps you
hmm
engaged in the story too.
yeah.
Okay, so here's another question, kind of on that, but in this, he wants to know your favorite death scene. So it can be from either a zombie movie, a zombie book,
Hmm.
but what is your all-time favorite death scene?
Ooh,
There's
all
some
time
real
favorite.
good ones.
Yeah, I would definitely. I think because I've just watched it so much, I love when the LT from Day of the Dead gets ripped apart after like he confronts
Yeah.
Bub in the hallway and they're just like tearing him apart. I love that scene. It's because it was so well deserved because he needed to die. So,
He had to
yeah,
go. He had to go.
yeah,
You know
I
what?
love that scene.
Even cheesy zombie, like B-rated zombie films,
Hmm.
they have some really good death scenes in them too. Even if they're the
Yeah,
most cheesy, most corny thing you've seen, I don't know. It still
yeah.
puts a smile on my face.
Watching somebody just either being ripped apart or devoured is just
Yeah.
like and things that you don't expect. Because I was just watching like Anna, Anna and the Apocalypse. I was just
Yeah.
watching that for like the first time, and one of the characters, their them getting bit just came out of nowhere, and I was just like and I loved it. So that's, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it can be, I don't know about you, but I'm always like, you know what? I have read enough and I have seen enough zombie films that if something happened and a true apocalypse happened, I'd be
Mm-hmm.
prepared. But then, you think of those moments where there's scenes, even in The Walking Dead, where one of the supporting characters that you're starting
Yeah,
to enjoy and you don't want them to go anywhere, and then a zombie just comes out of nowhere and nobody saw it and there's a whole group
yeah,
there, and then there goes that character, and then I'm thinking that would probably be me.
yeah.
Right there.
It
I would get too confident.
it's things like that. It's like especially with The Walking Dead, like they're always the
Hmm.
most in trouble when they get complacent, when they get too comfortable. Like if you think about
Right.
it, Michonne was perfectly fine on her own. It's when she felt safe within the group and she felt accepted and stuff. That's when people started dying and whatnot. I felt like if you are by yourself and you just going at it alone and you only have you to worry about, you're probably gonna last long. You're probably gonna be fine. It's when you get comfortable and complacent and you're not worried
Yes.
about the
She was
walls
smart
coming down.
too.
So
She had a good
yeah,
idea. Right off the bat,
yeah.
I was like, yep, she's a badass.
Everybody else was rubbing zombie
Yeah,
guts on them. She just walked with the zombie.
that's right.
So
And she was smart enough
yeah,
to make sure there's no way that they could
yeah.
scratch her
No
or bite
hands,
her.
no jaws.
Yeah.
She's good.
Oh, I was like
Yeah.
10 feet away from her and I could have met her and I don't know why I didn't
Uh,
and I regret it. I did meet Norman Reedus, Daryl
hmm
Dixon. He gave me a little
hmm
bit of a shoulder rub. I brag about that all the
Oh,
time. I
okay.
met Carol, Michelle, she was there, Glenn. I met him. We got pictures together. And
Glenn is
then,
awesome.
oh my
I always say
goodness.
Glenn's death is what turned me off from the show. I slowly walked away after that. I
Right?
knew it was gonna happen because I read the comics and stuff, but I was just like, I can't support this.
But you were kind of hoping that it wasn't going to happen in the
Yeah,
TV show, right? Because it's a little
yeah, because
gory for TV. So
everything
you're
else
like,
gets like switched up and stuff, and I was like, you could keep Glenn, but they didn't, and it's like, so I was mad,
I
but
know, I know. It was really hard. I've kind of fallen out of it now. It's always like, oh, are we going to watch the next season? And I'm like, yeah, you know
yeah,
what? It's no longer the zombies that are the true threat. They're just a nuisance. Now it's just all the
yeah,
groups. But they keep
yeah.
meeting a new group and they keep, winning and fighting against that
I
group.
I think that's the problem. Like, I mean, zombie stories, zombies are normally the backdrop anyway, and it's always just
Mhm.
society and whatnot. But I think what happened with The Walking Dead is like we keep meeting a new group, and then it's just kind of prolonged out, and then we meet another new group, and then it's
Yes.
just prolonged out, and it's just kind of like, and then like the payoff is kind of so quick. Like the villain is just taken care of so quick, except for
Yeah.
Negan. Negan got his redemption story, which sometimes I battle with. I'm just like, did he should he have gotten a redemption? No, he shouldn't because he killed Glenn, so he shouldn't have gotten.
That's a good answer. That's a great answer. But
Yeah.
then you think of the actor, and I mean,
Oh, I love
I
him.
love
Like,
him.
I
Jeffrey,
mean,
I.
yeah. I've loved him ever since he went on that hunting trip and never came back. I love Jesse G. I wanted Dad to come home too. I followed
Oh,
it for so
man.
long.
So Lewis says good choice for the death scene that you
Yeah.
chose.
Thank you.
And then
Thank you.
Neen would like to know, do you use humor to balance the tension and fear in your stories? That's a good question.
Oh
You
yeah.
guys are throwing out some really good questions tonight.
I most definitely do. I love like my wife doesn't love it too much, but I love horror, like horror comedies. So I
Yes.
use humor in my books. Whatever I write has humor in it. And I guess that's why I like banter a lot because most of my humor comes off in dialogue and just like people either making fun of each other or just saying something that's really mean and it takes you I won't say it takes you out of the apocalypse, but it keeps your dread light for a little bit, and then you get back to it. And
Well, and
I love humor. I love to
it
laugh in my books.
it brings back that little bit of like realism too, right? Because I mean,
Yeah,
let's be serious here. If you were actually put in a zombie apocalypse, are you telling me that you're going to be all serious the whole
yeah,
time through? Or are you going to sneak in
no,
those, little sexy time moments or those little
yeah.
humor, banter, having a good time moments? Because who knows when you can die? Who knows when you're going to
Hmm.
get eaten alive? So,
I mean, I feel like I got most of that thought process from the military because when we were in the military, we made light of everything, even like right before we deployed and everything, we made light of stuff. And like I talked to my wife about it because I feel like my sense of humor would be mean sometimes because in the military we were mean to each other and that's just
mm,
how it was. Like I remember we had one soldier, he was brand new and he's perfectly fine. As I tell this story, he's good.
okay,
Uh,
okay, okay, good.
he was worried about being deployed and I was just like, it's gonna be fine, you're gonna be all right and does that. And then one of our other soldiers who deployed before, I was like, tell him he's gonna be all right. And he looked at it, he's like, no, you're not coming back. I was like, oh.
Oh,
But he came back.
that's
He
a
came back
oop
perfectly fine.
moment.
Everything's good. But it's those. That's how we just interacted. We made light of everything, and I feel like I brought that, especially to the Planet Dead series. I feel like I brought
Mhm.
that to the Planet Dead series.
You would have to though, because I would assume that your past or history
Yeah.
would come into your writing style,
Yeah.
because it would be something. I mean, you were up faced with those moments in real life, right?
Hmm.
And so how did you cope with those moments? Like you said, making those jokes, even
Hmm.
though there could be a hint of realism or it could become a reality, those
Yeah.
jokes, it still just keeps it lighthearted, keeps it human, keeps it fun. Because
Yeah.
I mean, what you guys end up going through, you
Yeah.
have to
It
have some
definitely,
type of humor.
you gotta take your mind off of it, not like
Yeah.
fully. You have to be aware all the time, and you have to realize that you are at war, especially when you deploy. You're definitely at war, and but it's you just no one wants to sit there and think they're gonna die all the time,
No.
and no one wants to. With me, I battled with depression a lot when I was in the military, and you don't want to focus on that. So you just you take your mind off of it. You laugh. You try and enjoy life as much as you
Yeah.
can.
And I'm assuming, and sorry, I see that Joe's asked a couple of questions or asked a question here, but I don't know, I'm just so into the conversation. I would assume too that writing and even using some of your past coming into
Mhm.
your writing is also like a good outlet for you, a way to work through those thoughts and those emotions that still may be lingering in the back of your head, but at the same time, you're
Yeah,
doing something to help release that.
yeah. Most definitely, writing helps me um, release a lot of things. When my dad died, that's when I really threw myself into like Planet Dead 2, and that book deals a lot with a father son relationship,
Ugh.
and I just used it
Oh.
to release a lot of the because we weren't on the best terms our whole time he was alive, but like losing him, it hit me a lot. So I just put that into the book, and I yeah. So writing helps me deal with things most definitely.
So as you're saying this, I'm thinking, I've brought this up a couple times on my channel, that I did come across this saying, and for the life of me, I can't remember who said the quote or who it was by, but somebody said, "If you love an author, don't meet them." And I thought, no, I mean, is there a part of me that if you really love an author and then you meet them and you find out they're a total jerk, that could be
Yeah,
worrisome, because then you kind of
yeah,
lose that respect for them. But in the same sense, I would love to be able to talk to my favorite authors. And that's what I get to do by doing these live shows. And I love getting to be able to talk to the authors first
yeah,
before jumping into their work, because then I can see your guys' personalities, your quirks, the things that I learn about you while getting to talk to you. I can see it coming into the story. So now when I pick
yeah,
up, I'm going to be able to feel those moments that you're talking about from your past. I'm going to be able to feel those moments you're talking about, where your mindset was at when you were thinking about your dad.
yeah.
So I
Yeah, like
think
people
it's
ask me
fun.
which one's my favorite book, and two is always going to be my favorite book because I just have an emotional connection to it, and it
Mm,
just like it was a bad time in my life, but if I didn't have that book to work on and to toss myself into, it probably would
yeah.
have been the worst time. So yeah,
Yeah. No, absolutely. Huh. Well, that's really interesting to know. I'm very sorry for your loss.
yeah.
I'm sorry, because
Thank
even
you.
if you didn't have the best relationship, it's never easy to lose a loved one, a family
Yeah.
member, a friend at all.
Mm.
So Joe says, I'd say The First Night of the Living Dead is his favorite zombie flick, which is really
Hmm.
cool. And then he would
Yeah.
like to know what sparked your imagination for your last project.
My last project, like the last book I put out, or
Your
what I'm
most
working on
recent,
now. Oh, okay. Well,
or
the
or either. I mean, or both.
um, the last project, when Planet Dead was originally being written in 2010, it was like before I learned anything about The Walking Dead, so they can't do anything.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
It was an original
yeah,
idea, right?
yeah. So I was writing it because I used to write poetry a lot, and poetry it was fun and it was short. That's why I liked it because it was like I could tell a little story and just move on.
Mhm.
So I asked myself if I could write like a full story, if I could actually complete something. And that's what I challenged myself to do. And when I was writing Planet Dead, it was originally supposed to be like three stories that tied into one. And then when I joined the military, I decided I was just going to focus on Catherine's story. So the book that I just recently released is The Briggs Boys, and that's one of the other stories. It's Catherine's husband's story, Robert. It's Robert's story.
Oh.
So, so what? That's basically what it is. It was just another story that I decided to just publish fully now, and it's free everywhere, so people would just pick it up, and the ebook's free everywhere. And then the
Quick.
third story.
Wait,
is,
after the show. After the show, stay here and then go and pick it up.
Yeah, the third story is Jessica's story, and if you read Planet Dead 1, Catherine talks about meeting some people in Walmart, and then they stole her car and all her supplies. That's Jessica. So, and that's a story that I give with my newsletter. That you get to read that. So.
Oh, I like that they're all pieced out to the different characters.
Yeah,
I really like that. He said both is good. So if you want to talk about what you're currently working on too.
Okay. What I'm currently working on, it sounds so cliche, but this actually came to me in a dream. It was weird. So like I was sleeping one night, and then it was just like, it felt very much kind of like the Salem witch trials and stuff. It felt like somebody was on trial, and then they were found guilty, and then the priest, he was just like, he said take, and then he took their life. It was just like that. It was just like a glow of light, and they were dead. And then I woke up, and I decided I was gonna write this book, and it's like a religious apocalypse, and it's the church in America, not the whole church, but the church gets to this point where some of the priests, they have the power to give life and to take life, and then they got to this point where they decided they just wanted to take over America, and it's very Handmaid's Tale meets like Dogma, like Kevin Smith's Dogma. So that's how it is.
Oh, that sounds interesting too.
That's what I'm working on right now.
All the authors in the world, you guys, seriously, I'm gonna have to like remortgage my house. I mean, I keep saying that as a joke, but I don't know if it's a joke anymore. Jay, thanks for stopping by. We will gladly keep you entertained while you're at work tomorrow. So you just fire this up and watch it after the fact. Make sure you leave a comment, because if you don't leave a comment, then that means I know you did not watch it while you're at work. How about that?
I love his name, The World According to Jay.
Jay, he, the poor guy, he's got a fantastic channel. He also has a podcast where they do a live show. His host is Brad Proctor. They go by Paper Cuts. And then they transition it into a podcast as well. But the poor guy, he had, his name is Jay Maddox. And I guess there is a very problematic author out there. I don't know all the ins and outs. I don't know all the drama and stuff. But there's a problematic author, I believe, that goes by the name of Jeremy Maddox. So people actually thought, like, when we were like tweeting each other and stuff, or like when people were like shouting him out. Yeah, and so the poor guy got like, he didn't realize that people misunderstood who he was and thought he was this guy, and oh man, it was a whole thing. So he changed his channel name. So I mean, I think it was a win-win, because I agree. I love this one.
Yeah, I love the name. So I love the name.
So Joe says, I won't say with who, but I met an author I loved in Denver, and I lost my respect for them in person because of how rude he was to fans. Yeah, see, that would be a fear of mine. But then I also sit back and realize the stress. If you're at a con, or if you're like a meet and greet thing, like you have to think of some of the people that they come across are just demanding and rude. Like you go to like a Comic-Con, and like all the artists are just bombarded, and people want commission pieces, and they're trying to work on the commission pieces while other people are coming up and interrupting. And I don't know if I would have that.
Well, I mean, I love the author community and everything, and I do believe you should meet authors, and you should meet your heroes and stuff, especially if it's someone that you love a lot. You should meet them, and you should give them their roses. I always kick myself that I never got to meet George Romero and stuff, so I feel like you should go out and you should meet your heroes. But with that, I also say that authors are people too, And some people are douchebags. So
Yeah.
just keep that in mind. Like
Sometimes it could just
I've
be the
met
moment.
I've
Sometimes
met
they just are.
amazing authors and they're my friends and they're awesome people. And then I've met people that if I met them in real life, I'd probably hit them. So like
I pay
it's
to
just
see
how
that.
it is.
Let's
It's
find
just
somebody.
uh,
Dana, oh my goodness, thank you for popping in. Yes, I was very excited because it's not very often that you get to talk about zombies with an author, because
no.
I find that everyone's like, I'm not doing zombies because they're no fun or they're not liked anymore. But
It's so crazy. It's like there was this okay, so in the writing community they have this conference and it's 20 books to 50K and everybody's so hyped about it and wait, I was hyped. I want to go to it next year. But they had a post-apocalyptic panel and they were talking and
no.
everybody was like, yeah, post-apocalyptic and it's like but no zombies and I was like, oh. And all the zombie authors were like, well, huh, we're done with you, man. But no, it was very offensive. It's not offensive, but their post-apocalyptic stuff is like they write EMP stories and things like that, and the world
Mhm.
falls apart. And I guess some authors they don't like the zombie aspect, but I mean, I'm EMP stories are nice and everything. I guess just in my head, I feel like, well, if the power went out, wouldn't we just work to try and get the power back? I just don't understand. But but so I guess they see like zombies as just like I don't know. I love zombies. If you hate zombies, that's on you. That's your business. I love
Yeah, that's
zombies.
right. I can sit here and talk zombies all night. I swear. I won't. I won't. You've got a life. You've got a family. But I could. Well, and Joe says that he's happy that he got to meet you then. And Joe, you
Well,
were
I'm
like the
happy to meet
sweetest
you
human
too, Jen.
being in the world. And you're off doing something really important, really special right now, Joe. And you were here and hanging out with us. So thank you. Thank you very,
Oh,
very much for being here. He also says that he loves 20 to 50K.
yes, I love the group. I love the people. It was just that one panel and that one statement. I was just
Where's
like,
the
oh,
zombies? Where's the
like
zombies?
why don't you love zombies? Zombies love you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. They definitely do. You just
Yeah.
fill their stomachs with joy.
Yeah. They'll follow
The
you to the ends
majority
of the
of
earth.
yeah. The majority of the author community I've come in contact with are amazing. If you treat them with respect, then they will
Mm-hmm.
often give you the same. I
Yeah.
agree. And I think a
Most
lot of that
definitely.
has to do with like the indie and small press. I find that when you run
Mm.
into an author in this community, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, even TikTok, like everyone
Yeah.
just seems to be just so I don't know. Maybe we're all putting on a show, social
No,
media. We're
no.
just
I feel like authors, they're creative. They're just I feel like writing is an art and they're putting themselves out there and like they they want you to love their stuff and I feel like authors are great people. I've met some bad ones, but
yes.
I love most of the people that I've met. And TikTok's just a whole nother thing. Like TikTok's so addictive. I just
Oh my
I sit
goodness, is
there
it
and
ever?
my wife always looks at me. She's like, "You on TikTok again?" I'm like, "No, but I am.
Sorry.
I
Never, never,
am."
never,
I try to tell her, I'm like,
never.
I'm doing it for market research. I'm gonna make TikToks, and she's like, uh huh, okay.
I did like my first ever like true hard transition like
Yeah.
technical TikTok that I've ever done last Friday, and I did like a full like hair, makeup, and outfit change mid
Oh yeah.
video too, and I was like, I didn't do too bad. That was my first time trying, but it's people think TikTok's easy. I mean, for the majority, like you can put up
Mhm.
whatever quick little chit chat video,
Mhm.
talking about your piece or something that you've recently read that you loved. Um,
Mhm.
but it can get really hard and really technical too, and you have to
Oh
do it in
yeah.
short little clips. You only have
Oh
15,
yeah.
15 or 30. I think it's 15 and then 60 and then 3 minutes now that you
Yeah.
have,
Mhm.
right? So I mean,
Yeah.
you don't have a lot of time either.
I was beating myself up too because I made one and it cut off, and I was like, how can I not explain this in 3 minutes? This makes no sense. So I had to do
Yeah.
it.
But you
I
have
had
to
to do it
figure out
over
where to
again.
switch that too, because at the
Yeah.
bottom, if you have to scroll over and hit how long you want the video to be, and I don't know how many
Hmm.
times I didn't know that, and I was like, why is it not giving me more time?
Yeah.
Like, why is it only giving me 15 seconds? I want the full
Yeah.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
But
But
it is
I
really
love
addicting.
TikTok. I love it. It's very addictive. I love it.
You love it. I hate it, and I hate it
Oh,
because it's addicting.
because it's
And
addictive. Like I love how creative people are, and I love how it's giving,
yeah,
especially for actors. I love how it's giving these actors and comedians this new platform to just get out there, and people are doing like one person shows, and it's so amazing. It's just like they're doing
I
skits with
know.
themselves, and I'm like,
I
I love
know. And
it.
they pull it off every time. I will say, however, the book world or book talk,
Yeah,
um, there's some authors that only do videos on their work.
yeah.
Every single video. And I'm like, listen, I like to hear authors talk about other people's work because if I see
Yeah.
an author reading and supporting other authors, it makes
Hmm.
me want to support that author even more.
That's the
So,
problem with it. It's like I want to use it, but I'm not. I'm trying to figure out what to use it for. I think I'm just gonna talk about like zombie stuff all the time, and that's what I'm going to do. But
yeah.
like I
And
also
then
like the
just
music
slip it in
aspect, so I
there.
like to make I like to make my promotional so like on my page if you see something about my book, it's because I'm making a promotional ad. And
Yeah.
I'll share it out on like but then I had to stop doing that because I was sharing them on Facebook and Instagram, and then like we took your music away because I was like, I know why you did because you hate TikTok. You're
Oh.
petty.
I haven't had that yet.
Yeah.
But I haven't shared on Facebook. I would assume Facebook might be a little more picky. I
Yeah.
think Instagram they've kind of given a little more,
Oh yeah. If you upload it
right?
as a reel, then they'll just accept it. But if you try to just like I've uploaded it just in the story sometimes, and then like we're not
Yeah.
showing this story to people, I'm just like, oh,
Yeah. Or I
okay.
hear they push it down to like the very bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
So if it's
Oh.
not originally a reel made through, but I'm
Yeah.
thinking, listen, I don't care. I have a YouTube channel. I do live shows. I run an
Yeah.
Instagram, a Twitter, a TikTok. If I can make one TikTok, save that
And
video and
I
upload it as a
know.
YouTube short, as an
Hmm.
Instagram reel. I don't care if you push it down to the bottom. I'm
This
covering multiple platforms with one video.
is very business aspects of it, but Gary V, I don't know if you follow him, Gary Vaynerchuk. He says to do things like that. So it's like if
Yeah.
you take this video and then you cut it down to like you go through it and you find yourself a nice 60-second clip that you could throw on TikTok. And then you find
Mhm.
yourself a 30-second clip that'll work on Instagram and then
Yeah.
all this other stuff. And it's yeah, so like
It's
I don't
smart.
know why. Yeah, but yeah, that's it. Yeah, I
It's
definitely
less
definitely like that.
work.
Yeah.
And if you've got
I
a
mean,
different following on each, because I mean, I don't have a lot of the same following on TikTok that I do on Instagram, that I do on Twitter, right?
yeah,
So even YouTube, a lot of bookstagrammers aren't YouTubers or vice versa, right?
that's
So,
true.
I mean,
That's
you
true.
cover a wide variety of people and different groups.
It's so crazy
Yeah.
that it's so spread out like that because like
Right?
on Facebook there's this massive community of readers and then they're like, what do you mean book talk? Or what do you mean booktube? It's
What
like,
is that?
what? And then it's like I remember I have this one writer friend. I was like talking to him. I was just like, yeah. And then the podcast, he's like, I don't listen to podcasts. What? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to do a
So
little bit
it
of everything.
like it blows my mind that there's all these communities and they're just like different. They're separated. I'm just like, why aren't you all together? Like,
Together. I
yeah,
know. Or when they find each other, it's like, see,
yeah,
yay, look.
yeah.
Okay, just FYI, I saw my screen start to flash a little bit, so if I disappear, it will just close me down and pop me back up. Maybe it
Okay.
won't. Maybe we'll have like a
Maybe,
golden, and
maybe we'll
maybe
get
we'll,
lucky.
maybe, I don't know. I feel bad
Or
because I'm missing comments here. I'm getting so just like consumed with the conversation. So Dana says zombies are a huge part of what horror lovers want. So many genres in horror and zombies matter. Yes.
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 Yes,
I need
they
to
do.
sign up to gold. Yeah. Save the zombies. I agree. Save the zombies. And there is little twists and turns that you can do to make it different. I actually just read a zombie book not too long ago on Audible,
Mhm.
called Wicked Awake, where it had a lot of corruption in the military, and the zombies sprouted by something that they were trying to formulate to create,
Okay.
like this incredibly sane, like, I don't know, like weapon, humanized weapon. Anyways, and it was obviously it went wrong.
Zombie soldiers have always been like the thought process. Like when I was
Right?
writing Planet Dead, I was like, the villain would want to eliminate losing people in the military by having zombies. So
Yeah.
that's fun. That'd be a great aspect. Like I
Yeah.
love zombies, and zombies do matter, and I don't understand like I just don't understand people's hate for it. It's just like, but then again, I can see because then there grew a hate for like vampires after like Twilight, and people are like, I'm so sick of vampires.
And
I'm
then
just
it
like,
circles right
oh
back.
yeah, and now vampires are coming back now. Now there's people, like when Netflix put Twilight up, people are on Twitter like, oh my god, I love
Yeah.
Twilight. I was like,
Yeah.
y'all weren't like that before.
Yeah. Or TikTok, you see all these people watching Twilight for the first time and they love it and
Yeah.
they're all obsessed with it, and
Hmm.
yeah, and you're thinking,
But
man,
yeah,
that was like what, 16 years ago? Like,
you have to consider that like kids are growing into teenagers, and teenagers are growing into adults, and they're finding things that you once
yeah,
loved, and the
exactly.
fan base just continues again. So like while people are like, I'm bored of zombies, there's gonna be this one person that finds The Walking Dead for the first time, and they're like, this is
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, actually my oldest, he's old enough now where he can start diving into those, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I almost, as much as I'm kind of pulled away from the show, I almost want to rewatch it so that I can sit down and start watching it with him from
Oh,
scratch
yeah.
and see how he.
I'm definitely gonna rewatch the show. Like once it's done, I'm gonna sit down from episode one and then just keep on going.
Keep
Like
pushing through, even past
definitely.
Glenn.
Yeah, even past Glenn. I mean, I've watched past Glenn, but I was definitely like just
Gut
watching
wrenched.
to watch. Once Glenn was gone, I was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, a little
And then
sour on
like
the show.
people think I'm mean and everything because they're just like, oh well, if you didn't want Glenn to die, who would you have? He could have picked Maggie. I don't care. Like like just leave Glenn alone. Like
Oh
there's like
man.
she was pregnant. I was like, I said what I said.
You know what? I think she probably would have said the same thing because she was so distraught. She was more distraught about losing him than she probably would have been if she was the one to go, even though she was pregnant.
Yeah.
So I don't think what you're saying is wrong. I mean,
And then like she comes back and everybody's just like, he's a different man now. I'm like, hold up, what do you mean he's a different man? Like you can't just, oh, he's gone. Oh, well. She will be right back. I was told that when she got kicked off, she would return. So everything is going to be okay. And I guess we can talk about Maggie. Yeah, so
see, I
I
wasn't
feel
gone for
like
long.
Maggie. Oh, see, you're back.
Yeah, yeah.
We were just gonna talk about how I feel like Maggie needs to kill Negan. That's how I felt. That's how I still feel. I'm not caught up on the show, so I don't know what's going on. Some people said Maggie's gonna fall in love with Negan. I don't support this. I don't support it at all.
Oh man, could you imagine if that happened? I don't know,
It
but
probably will. It
we're at
probably
the
will.
end, so
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna catch up on these comments here quickly. Joe, even though you're distracting yourself by being here, thank you so much for being here.
Yes,
Oh,
Joe.
I
Thank you
forgot
for
about
being
the
here.
movie Warm Zombies, Warm
Warm
Bodies.
bodies.
I mean, that was a unique take on it for sure.
Yeah. There's a I guess you would call, well, I call it street lit, but it's basically like urban romance, like black romance and stuff. And she writes I believe she writes a series that's a love romance with zombies, and it's like a zombie king or something. Basically, this
Oh,
guy who's a kind of half zombie, half human hybrid, and he eats zombies. and it's this love story, and I was just like, there's so much that people are doing with zombies. I
Oh
don't feel
yeah.
like it's over.
It's
So
endless. Like the horror genre period is endless. The
yeah,
subgenres, the things you can do, the weird
yeah.
plays you can make in certain subgenres. Oh yeah, there is
Hmm.
like an endless scene. And I think that's why I'm so in love with horror and dark fiction, because there's always
Yeah,
something new. Priscilla, thank
most
you for
definitely.
jumping in with us. Yes, save the
Yeah,
zombies. We need to have like some type of like petition or something. Don't get
I
tired of the
know, to be a
zombies.
teacher.
You try TikTok, but you're not very popular. It is hard.
Oh,
You grow quick
yeah,
on there, but you have to be consistent and constantly uploading, and the trends, or using the trend music for something else,
yeah,
seems to work. I mean,
yeah. If that's definitely, I feel like that's like probably the secret sauce to it, because if you
yeah.
use the trend music, then when people go to look at that song, your video is going to be there, and they might stumble across
Hmm.
it and stuff. But I would definitely say don't get caught up in doing like trend things.
No.
If you're there for like horror, or you're there for just building an audience for your book, stay on topic. Don't,
Yeah.
like, yeah, go do your dance video, but if that goes viral, don't expect those people to be buying your books.
No, or
So
do put your own spin on it. You know that whole like
yeah, yeah,
infinity trend
yeah.
that's going on? I was like, I'm going to do that, but I'm going to make it bookish. And that's exactly what
Okay.
I did. And so at least it still makes people
It's
realize
still,
it's a
yeah, it's
book
still with
talk.
you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So if you're going
Yeah.
to use the trends, or you want to be part of it, put your spin on it to bring it back to what your channel or what your page is all about. And then
Yeah.
it's a
Hmm.
win-win, right? It brings people
Hmm.
to you. If they like you and they stay, they've got to realize by then that you're an author or that you're a book
Hmm.
talker.
Most definitely.
Zachary, thank you for coming and hanging out with us. I'm writing my debut novel, Beast People, a dark fable with Disney-esque illustrations. Oh, that's exciting.
Oh, that's nice. Disney, anything is exciting. I love
Yeah.
Disney. I love Disney.
Work smarter, not harder. I'm assuming that's to the comment of the one video across all platforms. See, that's
Yes.
how far behind I am on comments.
Yeah.
Sorry, you guys.
Yes, it definitely is work smarter. Not like when he broke it down, and I was just like, "This is genius." Yes, that's definitely what I should be doing.
Yeah, yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
agree. Dana's got a question. I feel like sometimes movies or books hold back the gore a lot of times and real danger towards the characters, so it's not as scary. What are y'all's opinion in that? I don't have the accent, but I tried.
um, like y'all.
Y'all,
I
I
grew
can't
up
do
in
it.
New
I'm
York.
so Canadian, you know. So if I try to go, y'all, how's it going, y'all? It
I
just
I
doesn't
grew
sound
up in
right.
New York, and now I live in Georgia. And I used to say like you guys are guys all the time, and then my mother-in-law was like, "I am not a guy." And I was like,
Y'all.
"What am I supposed to say?" She was like, say y'all or something." I was just like, and now I say y'all all the time. So,
Teach me
but
how. Teach me how, because I can't do it. I'm
oh, I
so
can't say it like them. I
Canadian.
just say y'all.
Y'all,
I
y'all.
just
I'll
say
just
y'all.
start
I
saying
can't say like
a boot. I'll just
southern.
start saying that. Then you guys
Uh,
can laugh at me.
but I think I forgot the question. Okay, I feel like sometimes move. Okay, yeah. I definitely do. I feel like they they hold back the gore so they can reach a broader audience. Like Resident Evil is a zombie movie,
Yeah.
and but then the broad aspect was to make it into action movie. So there are cool kills, but it's not to the extent of like Dawn of the Dead. It's not to the extent of Dawn of the Dead. So like yeah, I definitely see that, and I that's what I'll give The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead stayed true to being zombies. Like you saw
Yes.
the gore, you saw people. So I'll definitely always give them their props on that. And like, but yeah, they just want to reach a broader audience. So I guess they dial it down. I want horror all the time, so give me
Yes.
all the gore. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Even during like Christmas, I still want, I mean, I
Oh
don't
yeah.
mind like the fluffy happy, Christmassy, shiny and bright stuff, but I still need to have my dark, even during the Christmas season.
We're doing this. It was on. Well, my wife found it. It was on Twitter, so it's basically like a holiday horror movie challenge. So we watch one holiday horror movie every day. So that's why we watched Anne and the Apocalypse the other day, which is funny because I love musicals, but I just never got around to watching it. And today is what is it? Is it the 9th or the 8th today? I don't know.
Today's the 9th. Yes.
Today's
Holy
jeez.
Okay. We're almost halfway through December, you guys.
Today's movie is Dead End on Amazon. I'm not sure what that's about, but I need to. That's what we're supposed to watch today.
You'll have to report back. Let me know. Let me know how it went, and then I can check it out. She doesn't trust me because last time we watched Thanksgiving, and she doesn't support me picking holiday movies anymore. Oh, no.
Because it was about a killer turkey, and she was like, "No, never again. You're not doing this."
So I don't want to keep it too. We have hit that hour mark. Are you still okay if there's a couple of questions that pop up? I don't want to. Your whole family. I don't want your wife and your son to be like, no. Where are you already?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. We're perfectly good. Yeah.
Good. Perfect. I agree with what Dana's saying. I do agree that they do hold back on a lot of things. A lot of it, I'm assuming, is probably the technical, the legality things, especially when it comes to stuff that's, when it's books traditionally published, they know what sells. They want to publish what sells, rightfully so. They're a company wanting to make money. Yeah. Same with TV shows. They have to, I guess it depends on where it's airing. There are legalities of things of how far they're able to go. And I think that's why I love the indie and small press world, because they give a little more wiggle room. And especially if you're independent, because you can go, nobody's going to turn around and tell you not to do it. And even if they do, you can still do it. And when you are a lover of horror and you are an avid reader that reads anywhere from 130, 40, 160 books a year, that's what you need. You need that excitement, that stuff that's really going to sink its teeth into you and kind of just gnaw away, get underneath your skin, give you the heebie-jeebies, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay, hyperactive. Yes, my booktube is focused most on Aussie. Oh, I'm not able to see part of the comment. Can you see it? Because it's cutting off on my screen.
Aussie and sapphic spec fiction makes me love it, even if no one watches.
I see one watches, so it goes, yes, my booktube is focused most on Aussie and then all I see is the one watches with the laughing face. This is the joy of trying to do this on my phone. None of the other comments were not showing.
Oh, yeah. No, I do it on my computer.
See, I can see Dana's whole... I wonder why it's not showing the whole comment there. Y'all was beautiful. Okay, I'll just keep trying. Okay, I want to be one of you guys. From Virginia, so you're considered to be street trash. Is that a thing? If you're from Virginia, people look down at you, think you're street trash.
Virginia, so I'm considered street trash. I don't think so. My sister's in Virginia. I've never heard this.
Me either, but I'm Canadian, so what do I know?
North Carolina.
Can't shake it, but I'm glad. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
My wife tries to hide it. She blew my mind the other day because like I said, my son, he has autism, so he's like non-verbal. So he says like one or two words every now and then. And then like I was sitting down, and then she's like, Aiden has a southern accent, and I was like, no, he doesn't. I don't know why I believe he wouldn't have a southern accent growing up in the South. And then she was like, yeah, look. And then she made him say something, and I was just like, oh my God.
That would have been like a moment. Like, that is a memory that's going to stick.
Yeah. He says, like, when he says grandma and grandpa, he has like this southern accent. And when he tries to say operation,
got that twang.
And I was like, yeah. And I was just like, wow. And I caught him listening to a country song the other day, and I was just like,
oh, that's so sweet. And that's just going to make it heavier listening to the country music, too.
Yeah, yes. The New Yorker in me cried a little bit, but it is.
Oh, no. Dad's like, I'm proud, but I'm a little sad at the same time.
Yeah.
That's too funny. Nikki, we should put together a YouTuber, author, and subscriber horror trailer for a made-up horror movie. That would be so much fun. Just get
Horror
a bunch
trailers
of
again.
people together, get some authors, some booktubers, maybe get some people that are in the filming industry, if anybody knows anybody. That
I
would
would
be a
love to meet
blast.
someone in the filming industry.
Right? I mean, some
Yeah.
people, even when you watch like YouTubers and I just see the creation that they make, and I think, my God, like you're talented. And
There's so many talented people, and
yeah,
like but is her name Issa Rae? She's on Insecure, but Insecure originally started as a YouTube show that was called the Awkward Trials of a Black Woman, and
okay.
I just love seeing people go from these small social media things and then skyrocket. Like just seeing these TikTokers who are making these little skits and then they just kind of like they blow up and now they're or Vine before there was like Instagram and all that there was Vine and now there's Vine actors and stuff. So it's very cool. I remember there was this Hulu show. It was called Freakish, and it was a zombie show about these kids stuck in their high school during a zombie apocalypse, and a lot of the actors were like um, social media influencers or like people who blew
Oh,
up on YouTube or blew up on Vine and things like that. So that was pretty cool. So I just
Vine.
like seeing people do things like that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. And part of me wishes I had like better software, because if I had the software, maybe I could actually do it.
Yeah.
Zachary, thank you for making that straight on what street trash is. I would have never known. That is not something I would have known all the way over here in Canada. And I
And
agree. As long as you're true to yourself, that's what matters. You're
yeah.
perfect the way you are. Don't change anything. Dana, you've got it
Yes.
right on the head there.
Yes. Just always be true to yourself. Like me and
Yeah.
my wife, we clash all the time because my inner comfortableness is in PJs, and I will wear PJs all the time. And she's like, "You can't go outside in your Golden Girl PJs. You can't do that right now.
Why
You need to go
not?
do something." I was like, "Yeah,
I
why?"
would. Wait, you have
Yeah,
Golden Girl PJs?
yeah. Today, like, I had to go to the doctor to do something. They had to like stick a scope down my throat. So I had my Golden Girl shirt and my Golden Girl PJs, and I was like, she's like, we're gonna be doing stuff after the doctor, right? I was just like,
I don't
oh.
care. Let's do this
So I had to
anyways.
change. Yeah.
Oh, I would have gone out anyways. I would have been like, listen, represent the Golden Girls,
Oh, I
period.
love the Golden Girls. I got my Golden Girl socks, my Golden Girl PJs, T-shirt.
Really?
Yeah.
Why can I never find any cool stuff like that here?
There. Oh, I don't know about Canada, but it's all in Walmart.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. I've
Hmm?
got to, you know what? Your guys' healthcare may be outrageous compared to ours, but I may have to move to the US just so I have access to the stuff in
The
Walmart.
Golden
I
Girl
mean,
care.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're
It's too
gonna move for the
exciting.
Golden Girl care. You most
That's
definitely.
right. Just for what I could find in Walmart.
I
Absolutely.
know.
And it's cheaper because our dollar is outrageous. So, I
Oh yeah.
mean, win-win. Win-win.
Hmm.
What is your favorite process of the publishing process? Like, is it writing the book? Is it the editing? Is it the cover?
Oh, it's definitely writing the book. I make my own covers sometimes. Like when I'm like first writing, I'll make a mock cover and I'll be like, "This is the goal," and then I'll pay someone to make a real cover. So I like making pictures. I do love making advertising pictures all the
Yeah.
time. Like if you go to my Instagram, that's just like all I do, and I love that. But definitely the writing, not the editing. I hate it. I hate it. So
The writing, the being in the story, the
yeah.
creating of the story, but having to go over and over
Yeah,
and
the
fix
editing
it.
is
And
yeah, because then it's just like I finished the book and then it's like I have to go back and reread it all and fix it and I'm just like I'd rather pay someone to do that. But like I'm trying to find an editor. Like I found one before, but then she left. And then I found another one, but he wasn't moving fast enough and we had to part ways. And then my wife was like, "I'll be an editor." I was like, "Yay!" And then she hasn't done it, so I'm just
she's
like,
got her hands full.
she has her hands full with the kids. So that's the same reason our podcast is so like behind sometimes because like we do a horror podcast. Well, next year it's gonna be horror, true crime, and trash TV. So we have a podcast. But if both of us are recording, then the little man needs someone needs to watch it. So it doesn't
Yeah,
work. So
because you
like we
can't
try and do it
film
when he goes to
individually.
yeah. We try to do it when he goes to sleep. And he used to go to this therapy. It was ABA therapy, I believe. And they watched him for not watched him. They did therapy with him for 4 hours, and that's when we recorded it. But we stopped that because like I said, he's high risk, and he came home with a cold, and we were very freaked out, and we were just like, we're
Oh,
gonna have to put that on pause until yeah. So,
I could only imagine. I mean,
yeah.
with my boys, I've got one home that's been home all week this week sick with a cold,
Oh,
right?
oh,
But as soon as you
yeah,
hear that cough or that
yeah,
sniffle, I think
yeah,
I could only imagine. Yeah, if you've got somebody that's
yeah,
considered to be high risk in your home,
yeah.
it would be that much more gut wrenching.
Especially now. You know, yeah. Nowadays, like a cough is not the same as it was before the pandemic. So
No,
it's,
somebody
it's
sneezes,
like,
everyone's eyes go wide. Somebody coughs,
yeah,
everyone's eyes go wide, and
yeah,
it's really hard for sure.
hmm
Absolutely. And I've talked to
yeah,
people that are fully vaccinated that ended up getting it or getting one of the variants, and they were like,
yeah,
"I have never been so sick in my life," and I'm like,
yeah.
"Geez, it doesn't make me want to go out in the world because I don't
I
know about you,
know.
but even if I knew I was going to make it through, I don't want to be that sick.
I
I
don't.
don't."
Everybody's just like, oh, it's just a really bad flu. Well, I had the flu once, and I hated it. Like one time, way before this, it was like when I was in college. My sister and her family, they all went to I hate shots. So it was before I was in the
Oh no.
military too. So they were getting their flu shot, and she was like, "You want to get one?" I was like, "No." And then I was staying with them. So when you get your vaccine, your flu shot, you have flu symptoms, and
Yeah.
I don't have the flu shot, so I was dead to the world for like a whole month. I was sick, and I lost all this weight and stuff. And so people were like, "Yeah, this COVID is just a really bad flu." I was like, "I almost died on the flu. I don't want that. No, I don't want that
Yeah.
at all."
No,
But
it's true.
me and the wife are fully vaccinated, and now they're doing it for kids. We're just we have to get all the information for the little man because of his
Yes.
seizures and everything he goes through. We can't just take
Make
him
sure it's
to
safe.
yeah. We have to figure it out. Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
no,
to ask a lot
absolutely.
of questions. Mhm.
Oh, it just breaks my heart. Yeah, Joe, I won't say
Yeah,
what you're going through because it's really none of my it's none of my business, but I know what you're going through right now with your daughter is just heart wrenching. So again, thank you so much for being here and for distracting yourself while you're sitting there waiting for things to happen. Um, I saw your comment up here. I found a Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, and stay put Marshmallow
yes,
Man Ghostbuster shirt in
yes,
Walmart in October for $5.
yes. Walmart has
Ah,
like Walmart has the low key horror shirts. Like it's just like because I used to work at Walmart, so like that's when I had one Golden Girl shirt. It says "Stay Golden" and it's yellow, and then there was this pink one, and I was just like, that's my shirt. So, but yeah, I have like a Chucky shirt that says "Free Hugs," which isn't the best thing to wear during the pandemic because people are like, oh, I was like, no, it's just a shirt.
later,
Like,
another time.
and then I have a Freddy Krueger one. I got my wife two like Michael Myers ones. Like, the Walmart has nice horror shirts.
Not
I
here. That's not fair. Why do we keep putting all
support.
the junk stuff over here? Send some of it over our way. We're not that far from each other. Come on. Our borders touch, so
I know, right?
send it on over. Well, that's really exciting. Do you have an all-time favorite horror book that you have read?
An all-time favorite horror book? I don't know. Like when I was growing up, I wasn't big on reading, and now I am. So, but I I loved it, even though there were some questionable things in it that I didn't understand. And right now I'm getting really into Grady Hendrix's books. I
Okay.
know. So the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I love that book. It was
I haven't read
awesome.
that one yet.
Uh, yeah, I love that one. Everyone says they love the My Best Friend's Exorcism, and I like it. I guess I'm not a fan of kids sometimes. So like I was like it's based
I
off
love
the teens,
mine,
and
but
I
I
was
don't
like,
love
these
other
kids are
ones.
so I know, like yeah. So I'm just like listening to these teens going through these hard situations and her feeling like her friends possessed, and I was like, why don't you tell your why don't you tell your parents? Why don't you tell like so but yeah, I guess it would be it. It is like just amazing. I love it. Yeah.
That's a good pick. Joe says, "Cool. It's cool just here supporting other authors." He also says that he likes you. He's given you a follow. I should
I
have
will
said that.
follow you back.
All of Sylvester's information is down in the description. I got Instagram, Twitter, website there, so definitely go give a follow, shout out, go
I,
check out his work,
I try and
and
make
go
it
give him
all
a
simple too,
follow.
because it's just all Sylvester Barzey.
Yeah, it's
Like,
nice when it works out that way, when you don't have to worry
yeah.
about somebody already having taken it.
No, I'm like the only one in the world. Well, except for like this dude popped up on Facebook, and I'm not too sure if he is named Sylvester Barzey or he's trying to steal my identity. I haven't figured it out. But
on Instagram? Is it on
no,
Instagram?
it was on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, watch
So I
out,
was
because
just
that's happening a lot on Instagram.
yeah. I saw him. He has his own picture, so I was like, well, maybe it's just a coincidence. And I was like, or maybe you're trying to do something. I'm not sure yet, but he hasn't done anything yet. So.
Hey girl, hey, thanks for coming and hanging out. For anybody that has seen my light transition infinity TikTok, it was because of this girl. She was like, you can
Oh,
do it. She helped me out. She figured I didn't know how to do the transition. I didn't know how anything technical worked.
well, I'm
So
definitely gonna go check it out. Yeah, the transition things. Like I remember, I saw someone's TikTok video, and I messaged them. I was like, "How do you do this?" And they were
yeah.
trying to explain it to me, but I felt like they got to the point where it's like, I just don't know how to
Don't
explain
yeah.
this.
Yeah, no,
So,
she was such a big help. She was sending me screenshots. She's like, haven't you ever done this?
oh.
Haven't you ever seen this? And I'm like, no. Well, now I feel like I'm like a total pro. Like, I'm like, yeah, I can do
Yeah.
this in my
I feel
sleep.
like once you get the hang of it, it just becomes second nature. You're just like, oh, pause this
Yeah.
video at this point and da da da, and then like, okay,
Remembering to always have the invert when you're trying to show books so people don't get mad at you that they
oh
can't read what the
yeah. I
title
saw
says.
somebody say that they
Oh,
were just like, book talkers, why aren't you using invert? And then once
I'm
they
like,
said that, I was like,
oh.
yeah, why aren't they using invert? Because I've been trying to read the word backwards.
Oh, it's so hard though, because it depends on how you film. If I film a video and then I just
Hmm.
upload it onto TikTok, I don't have to worry about the
Yeah.
invert because my phone does
Oh
it
yeah.
automatically. But if you film it right
Yeah.
through TikTok, you have to remember the invert. And I'm like, oh man, one more thing to have to remember.
Yeah.
Do we love Christmas or are you done for the year after Halloween like me? Done till Halloween or at least try to make it a little creepy?
I
I'm telling you, I said
I'm
earlier, you have to have some of the creepy mixed in
yeah.
with the Christmas season.
Like I'm done after Halloween. I'm just like the year's ended for me. But my wife, she's just like Christmas, and I was
Yeah,
just like, oh, and she's like, set up the
here we
tree. I was just
go.
like, she calls me the Grinch all the time. She's like, why aren't you happy?
Bah humbug. It's just
Yeah,
like,
and then like so we don't get snow too much in Georgia, but then like if snow happens, she's like, let's go take pictures. And I'm from New York. I'm just like, why? Why would I want to go out in the snow? No, I don't want to do
just
that.
stay indoors. Well, don't live here then, because we, on average, almost all winter long, which is like 6 to 8 months, have like 6 feet of snow on our front lawns. So
Oh
if
yeah,
you don't
no,
like snow,
no,
don't come
you
here.
can have that. You can have that. I'll stay down here with my Walmart t-shirt.
Identity theft is not a joke, Jim. No, it's not. I mean, I got to give you a shout out. You've been helping me so much with TikTok. So, I mean, I got to give the shout out. It's well deserved. I also did another TikTok for her and I
Yeah.
directed it right to her. I said, this one's for you, girl. So she knows.
Uh,
She knows. She knows.
that's nice. TikTok, I really do like a lot of authors. They're trying to stay away from TikTok or they don't like it, and it can be a time suck. But yeah, I enjoy the fact that it's a time suck. I feel like
Yeah.
it. I just love watching these videos. I love watching these storytellers. I found some horror people that do little horror shorts
Yeah.
or like yeah. So I love it, and like I haven't figured out how to make it work for me but I love that it's there. I love that it's another avenue that allows people to do their creatively.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm seeing the comments pop up.
Oh.
It's giving me a giggle here. Joshua, thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Josh is another
Hey.
fantastic author. I love seeing all the authors in here supporting the other authors, although Josh is always extremely, extremely supportive. Another person you should definitely know in the community.
Okay.
Book licking is cool too. Not just book sniffing. Sometimes you have to do a little book licking too.
I
We had.
haven't gotten to that side of TikTok yet. I don't think so.
Just don't go to my page then. Do not go to my page. Oh, I can't remember what we were talking about, but Mel she does lives on TikTok, and she is a blast. Like, I'm talking about the best lives you could ever watch. She's always got a fun topic, whether it's like the best pickup line or talking about horror movies or what have you. And we were talking, somebody had asked, what is a turn on aside from the typical obvious thing? And everyone had answered, and then somebody asked, what about me? And she just kind of flat out said, oh, she's a total book sniffer. And so I put a little bit of a twist on it, and I put in my comment, and I said, a little bit of book sniffing, maybe a little bit of book licking too. And then it just kind of stuck from there. And we were like, we need to have this on like a t-shirt. There was another pickup line somebody said. Oh, so much fun. See, this is where you get problems in TikTok, because you get lost, you meet these fantastic people, and then you spend way too much time on there when you should be reading books like Sylvester's. I mean, I'm just saying. Get off TikTok and check out his work. Whoa, too spicy for YouTube. No way. It's my channel. I can do what I want. Let YouTube come after me. Yeah. Oh, too funny. Well, I find that we've gone way off topic, but it has been such a blast getting to chit chat with you. We have hit the 1 hour and 20 minutes. And again, I don't want to keep you too long. So why don't you go ahead, for anybody that was late to the game jumping in here, just reintroduce yourself and reintroduce your work and what you have out there.
Okay. My name is Sylvester Barzey. I am a horror and fantasy author. I am most known for my zombie series. It's called Planet Dead. And it's right now it's 3 books in the series and 1 novella, which is out. It's free everywhere. It's called Planet Dead, the Briggs Boys mixtape. And I just love horror. I've always loved horror since I was a kid. It's just like I get lost in horror movies. I love slashers. Scream is that's the shirt.
I was gonna say.
Scream is my jam. I love Scream. I'm ready for the new one to come out in January. I joke with my wife that I'm gonna rent out the movie theater to watch it.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. I'm terrified they're gonna ruin it.
Oh, you think so?
I hope not. I hope they put like the most amazing modern day spin on it, and it's just. And I hope whoever the killer is just like mind blowing. It gotta be.
Your mind. I have a theory, and I really think it's Dewey this time. I feel like it's Dewey. So.
That's what everyone was saying with those promotional photos of everyone holding the mask up beside their face. And some people were like, if it's Sydney, that would be awesome. And I'm like, I don't know. Look at Dewey, because he looks pretty sinister. Like,
there's this fan theory that Dewey was the third person, the third killer in the first movie.
In the other ones.
Yeah, that he was the third killer in the first movie, and that they just didn't reveal it because he was their inside guy, and they thought they were going to get away with it. And I feel like it's Dewey because I feel like I watched the trailer and I felt like him and Gail aren't together. And I feel like he knows every time the murders start happening, him and Gail get back together again. So I feel like that's his motive to get with Gail again. So
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I like that. And I mean, the guy's got like 9 lives. I mean, how many times would you have thought he would have been dead? And he's still alive.
He's always like stabbed in the back, and it's just like, how are you living? Like, this is crazy. But Sydney's my favorite final girl. She's like the ultimate final girl. Me and my wife, we argue about it. We did a podcast about it, arguing about our favorite final girls, because she loves Laurie from Halloween.
Yeah.
And then she's like, Lori is way better than Sydney. And while Jamie Lee Curtis is like the ultimate scream queen, Lori can't hold a candle to Sydney because Sydney kills her killers. Like they don't come back. There's no like Billy
Yeah.
didn't make it to part 2. So
Yeah. Yeah,
Sydney, like,
exactly.
yeah,
I'm done with
yeah.
you. Goodbye. You're gone.
It's always a new person because like, she once she gets it done, you're done. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exciting. I like your idea. I'm gonna roll with that. We're gonna cross our fingers.
Dewey.
Maybe, yeah,
That's what
maybe
I think.
they'll run
I
with
think
that.
it's
Or maybe
Dewey.
they'll like twist our whole minds. Who knows? Maybe Cotton will come back. I mean,
So from the dead, maybe it'll be a zombie movie. Like, yeah.
oh man, who else? There was a couple other characters where I'm not going to get all into it, where we were kind of discussing that their deaths were kind of like borderline, like they may have been able to walk away from it.
Yeah. Stu
is one
death,
of them with the TV.
He might be alive.
Yeah.
He could be alive. Her cousin's death from 4.
Yeah.
She might be alive. I'll give her that. And Kirby might be alive, but I don't see Kirby being a killer.
No.
And everybody else, I think, pretty much got a bullet to the head. So yeah.
Yeah. There's
Billy's
a few people.
dead. Billy's mom's dead. Her crazy friend is dead, and her brother's dead. So
yeah.
I'm looking forward to this one, but I'm looking forward to the aspect that it's different. Like it's not about Sydney, because the amount of people that wanted to kill Sydney because of her mother was just outstanding. Like,
and then everything she was going through in between all of that, and she only had the one friend in her family that were like, and Dewey that were like actually watching over her and cared about her. And I was like, could you imagine if you were living that girl's life? Like, it would be hell.
Is so hard, and I'm pretty sure she had the hardest time dating, because imagine just being like on Tinder and then you have your first date and you're like, oh wait, you're that chick that people die around. Okay, no, bye.
Your boyfriend went psycho and killed a bunch of people.
Yeah. So.
Oh man, well that's pretty exciting. I do like the modern day aspect of it. I mean the whole. Yeah. The trailer, I mean, Sydney's one line on the trailer was like a little cheesy. I'm Sydney. I always have a gun. And I'm like,
of course I have a gun. Like, yeah, it was a little cheesy. I thought it was badass. It is a little cheesy. But I like the concept when they said that the killer is going after people related to the other killers.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that is very cool. And that's also why I think it's Dewey. Because I was
like, and the locks. Well, and I mean, the locks, to be able to do it on like an app, everything is all technology now, right?
Yeah.
And Dewey would have access to that too, because of his history and what he did. He would probably have ins and outs and know people and security
and the law enforcement.
You might be onto something.
Yeah.
Fingers
he
crossed.
was like sheriff for a little bit. So if anyone can get access to things, it would be Dewey. So I don't know. I feel like it might be him.
And people trust him and think that he's a badass because he has like 9 lives and he's still standing.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. I will scream in the theater if he was right. I'll be like, he was right. People will be looking at me going, what? Okay,
my wife
sorry.
is like, if it ends like this, if it's Dewey, I'm not watching a movie with you again. I was just like,
oh, that's so hard because you love Dewey. But I mean, that's the whole catch, is get people to love the character and then make the character relatable, lovable, and then twist up your viewers' minds. And then, of course, I'm still going to love Dewey because I like the dark. So
I love Dewey. I feel like it's Dewey. And if they brought back Stu and it was Stu, I'd be okay with that too, because I love the actor that plays him.
He already said on an interview, somebody had asked if it was him, and he was like, no, I'm sorry, guys. He's like, I mean, I understand that my death is questionable.
What else could you say? Like,
I know. I don't know. He seems.
It's like with all those Spider-Man actors, they're like, we're not in this new movie. Yes, you are. Stop lying.
Yeah, that's right. Although he was
Yeah.
really convincing. So, I mean, but he is a good actor too. So,
They're actors, yeah.
I don't know. That would be really cool too. But I'm going to
It
hope
would
it's
be.
Dewey because I really like your theory on how this is going to end. And I will
Yeah.
scream in the movie theater and be like, he was right.
Because in my head, I feel like it'd be a good thing because then it'd be like you find out it's him and he's just like, I did it for you, Gail, and it's just like, woo, okay.
Yes. Oh yeah, like that crazy love obsession.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she'll fall for it. Okay, sorry, we keep getting off topic. I'm having such a great time talking horror, zombies, movies with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, the fact is, I think everyone that's come and hung out with us, thank you for coming and asking these fantastic questions and to chilling with us tonight. I think it's obvious to say that Sylvester's awesome. I mean, personality,
you
great.
are awesome.
So I think everyone should go check out his books and love the zombies and save the zombies. You're gonna have to like put that on a cover at the back, like hashtag save the zombies.
Zombies matter. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna make this movement happen. It's gonna happen.
We have to, because I don't want to hold like circle around. We all know zombies are gonna become popular again, but I don't want to have to go through that process. Can we just keep them cool now?
Just keep them going. Like, well, what else has been around forever and a day? Like something, like just keep them going. Keep zombies going.
Yeah, totally geeking out to Scream. I tell you, I could talk. Scream's another thing I could talk about forever. Mel says that's an amazing theory. Yeah, I agree. Fingers crossed. And I hope that the modern day twist on it works. Like, I hope they do it to a T and they don't ruin it because, I mean, that's an icon. That movie is everything.
Like,
and sometimes they ruin things.
Did amazing with Scream. I've often I always wish I met Wes Craven and George Romero, and I'm so sad that they're gone. But I love everything that Wes did, and I especially love Scream. So I really hope this one is going to be amazing. I'm going to watch it regardless of what anybody says about it. I will be right there, and I'm going to watch it. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I like your idea of renting out the theater like a birthday party or something.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna have a party of one watching Scream, please.
Listen, I think that's awesome, and you can feel like you're at home in your own like movie theater, your own filming room at home. I like that. I like that idea. Maybe I'll have to make that a reality too. You could bring the wife, rent it out, just have two people there.
She'll definitely come in. The little boy, he can run through the aisles and stuff and eat popcorn. So
that's right. You don't have to worry about anybody getting all huffy puffy because there's a kid there. And there you go. I think and then we can
talk about the movie, because me and her, we talk all the time through our movies. So I'm pretty sure anyone sees this in the theaters like, I hate those.
Tell them you need somebody up there at the film doc that every time you put your hand up, they have to pause it for you like you're at home.
Yeah.
Sir.
That'd be the last time they let us do that.
That's right. I'll pay a little extra.
Banned from our local theater. Yeah. I'll slip you a 50 if you pause it every time we go in.
Yeah, that's right. That's too funny. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It has been such a pleasure getting to talk with you, getting to geek out about Scream and zombies with you. I know I look forward even more so to be able to go check out your work now as soon as I have a moment, because clearly you write stuff that I love. I mean, zombies,
I definitely want to hear
vampires.
What you think. I love when people read my stuff and they come and talk to me about it, because like it's just like it's a geek thing. Like, I wrote this and I want to hear what people think about it. And like I've had people come in like, oh my god, that ending. I'm like, yay.
Yeah. Or this is my favorite character. Why did you do that? Or why?
I know.
Well, that's really nice to hear.
I apologize ahead of time if that does happen.
No, I wouldn't apologize. Just like you said before, I said what I said. I did what I did.
I did what I did.
Exactly. Listen, I'm the author. The story's mine. It's my masterpiece. I'm going to do what I want to do, period. That's too funny. And I'm glad that you said that, because I think a lot of, book nerds, reviewers, they hesitate to actually reach out to the authors to talk to them. I'm not one of those people. sadly, like every author that I've connected with in the community can honestly say that I might be like an overabundance of love to the point where sometimes it's
Yeah.
annoying because I'll constantly, sometimes I'll
Oh.
be reading it. I'll be like, oh, I just got to this part. And oh my God. Hey, I just got to this part and this happened. And they're like, I know, I wrote the book. I also read it like 20 times while editing it. And I'm like, I know you did, but I don't have anyone to geek
No,
out with.
I love the support you're bringing to the community. I love the energy. I love
Oh, good,
everything.
good.
So definitely, like,
Well,
and yeah, I love when readers talk to me. I love when authors talk to me because like being an indie author, there's so many like potholes and things that you can
yes.
fall into, and I'd rather
Yes.
people ask me like, oh, like how are you doing your audiobook or how are you doing this? I'd rather people
Yeah.
ask me than to fall into a pothole. So
Yeah.
I'm an open book, so you can
Yeah.
message me
Me too.
anytime. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Me too. And it's great because then you can help each other out, be on each other's team. It's not a competition. You want to
yeah.
build each
No,
other
it's
up.
not. Like
And then you
readers,
have the
like you
readers.
said, readers read like hundreds of books a year. We're not in competition with each other. If anything, we're
No,
helping each other.
exactly. You're feeding to our true addiction.
Yeah.
It is truly,
it
but it is a healthy addiction. I'm not over here doing
is. It's a good
drugs
addiction.
or
It's a good
I,
addiction. Like,
right?
yes. We,
They
that's
don't.
why my book's free. The first
Yeah,
taste is free. You can have
yeah.
it.
Just to get people hooked and addicted, and they
Yeah.
don't go bad, they don't expire. I don't know how many books I have bought just to have them on my shelf so they're ready to go when I'm able to dive
Mhm.
into them. And people are like, why don't you buy it when you can read it? I'm like, do you realize that some books are exclusive? Sometimes the cover changes, sometimes, so no,
Yeah.
you got to snatch it up the second you see it. And if it sits on that shelf for even 5 years before I get to read it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't go
Mhm.
bad, it doesn't expire. It's a book.
Yes, I love that mindset.
Well, and
I
then it
love
also
that.
supports the author, especially indie or
Mhm.
small press. I will go out if
Yeah.
I've got extra cash. I'll go out and I'll buy their books because it doesn't matter how long they sit there. I will read them. I will review them at one point. But in the
Mhm.
meantime, I have now supported them, been
Word.
an official
Mhm.
sale, share them around. You know, you've got TikTok, you've got Bookstagram, you've got Twitter, YouTube, even just sharing around a book and holding it up during a book haul of some sort, it still is some type of marketing and promoting for the
Yeah.
authors. But if you
And
have
it
read
makes
it,
their day.
leave
Like
a
I
review.
swear, like authors
Yes.
love when someone's just like, I just got this, and it's like, oh my god, it's my book. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
they
my book
love
was
that.
just held
So
up in a TikTok or in a video. Like
yeah,
they
it
haven't
makes
read
their
it
day.
yet, but holy crap, it was up there.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
I will
right.
truly let you go now so you can go be with your family. It has been an absolute
Okay.
pleasure. You are welcome on any time if you ever want to come on again one on one, if you want to
Awesome.
come in a group, or if
I
you're
would love
promoting
that.
something.
I would love that.
Yeah,
I
and
would just love to be back. This was amazing. I love
good.
talking horror.
Get
So
some
like yeah.
fellow zombie lovers on here. Then we'll you want to see geeking out.
Yeah.
We better like cross off like a whole day. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
But it
All
was
right.
such a pleasure getting to talk to you, get to know you. I look forward to diving into your work as soon as I get a quick moment. Thank you to
All right.
everyone that came by and hung out and asked these awesome questions and geeked out with us and had a good time. All of Sylvester's information is in the description. It's easy. Just go click the link, go check out his work, go pick it up, or you can go to his socials and support him and send him all the love because he honestly deserves it, clearly. And that's it for today. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
It was
Thank
so much
you.
fun. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.